Okay, so I remember back in the day when I had, I think, about 900 subs, one of my viewers said that every now and then I should make a video and talk about my biggest mistakes. And in terms of marketing, believe me, that is a very stupid idea. But I'm not here to sell you any false hope. No, I'm here to tell you, look, I am a very normal trader that can definitely get it wrong sometimes, and this is definitely one of them on Cardano's chart. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about, I would say, probably one of my biggest mistakes, and then I'm going to give you an analysis and tell you what I think right now in terms of price action and in my field of work, specifically Elliot Waves. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a great time with your family and loved ones. And let's just start from the beginning and tell you why I got it wrong in Cardano. You see, this point right in here, about, let's say, 24 cents is the lowest low in this cycle. And off of it, I was telling you, look, there's a very good chance that we are having a WXY in here in form of potentially a double zigzag and not an impulse. And this to me meant that maybe at one point in ADA we are going to get a move down in order to set new lows and take the lowest low all the way down here, and then after it we can have a big move on the upside. And I remember specifically right in here I was actually telling you, look, you need to be careful in ADA because we might indeed get another move down in case that we are going to get a solid break of this very important support area. And what happened? Definitely not that. Instead, we didn't get a break of this support and we got a very strong bounce back off of it, and it started the next phase of the bull run in ADA. So here's a question. Why did I get it wrong in here? Well, that's because of this chart, which is on Kraken. You see, if you are a new viewer, you should know that in my analysis, I use a lot of Elliot Waves. And if you want to argue that in terms of Elliot Waves, we're going to have our final bottom around here, maybe this is like a very important support, then okay, you must be able to find off of the lowest low in this region, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up. This specific example is a normal 5 wave. Rules for it are, we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and this is the key. In any kind of impulsive structure, wave 3 right in here should not be the smallest wave. And for our sub waves, you probably know it because I'm guessing a lot of you in this video at least are regular viewers. We're gonna have 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5. There we go. And for wave 2 and 4, we can have different scenarios. Let's say, okay, ABC into 4 and a WXY into wave 2. Understood? Okay. Let's go on the live chart and see what is happening. So in Kraken's chart, pay attention to this. In this area, in Cardano, we are having off of the lowest low in here, a very big shadow. And the lowest low in this region, it's actually somewhere around 21.5 cents and not here. I think I made a mistake telling you at the beginning of the video that the lowest low in here. No, it's actually right in here. Now, the question is, can we find an impulse off of here? Are we going to say that this is a 1 correction for 2 and maybe this is our wave 3 correction for 4, potentially in form of a triangular structure, and then another move up into wave 5? Well, if you want to say this scenario is in play, then okay, wave 3 is clearly the smallest wave, which is not allowed. And that made me say, because it's pretty much impossible for us to find an impulse, at least in this chart, from Kraken. Maybe in ADA, we are dealing with overall a correction structure, and after it's over, we are going to get a move down in order to clear all the lows in here. But that didn't happen, and here is why. Let's go on a less busy chart, maybe from crypto.com. Okay, so where is the lowest low? It is down here about 23.5 cents and not the 21.5 cents that we had on Kraken's chart. And this was our alternate scenario, because in here from this point to about this high, if you go on some lower time frames, you can definitely find an impulse into a wave 1, correction for 2, decent move up into wave 3, correction for 4, and this is another move on the upside into wave 5. And based on this scenario, which was again our alternate possibility, we were saying, okay, the bottom can actually be in, because if I just measure the length of our wave 3 in here, let's put the chart on regular scale. There we go. Let's just measure it from here to about this side and compare it to the length of our wave one. Is it smaller? The answer is no. Why is that? Because the end of our wave one is actually going to be right around this area and not the highest side. And we were saying this can be, for example, an ABC flat or maybe a WXY, doesn't really matter. Generally, some sort of a corrective movement. So this is, in my opinion, exactly why I got it wrong in Cardano. And my primary case right around even these areas was actually the bearish one. And now it is definitely time to change my mind and stop being absolutely stupid. So what's the play in here? Well, the long-term scenario, if you have watched any of my previous videos in Cardano, you know exactly what it is. Let's go back on Kraken's chart. Let's actually use watch list. Where is it? Excuse me. Okay, there we go. So in the long term, in ADA, I was telling you, look, we are having a fantastic bullish setup. And here is why. This can be 5 wave up into a wave 1, correction for wave 2, and after our correction is over, and I do think that now odds are that it is over already, we are going to have a big move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5, and this whole wave 3 is going to happen in the cycle, which in it we are going to at least set an all-time high and take the highest high all the way up here around $3. But I don't think that we're going to stop there. No, I think we can definitely go quite a bit higher than that. And here's the thing. In Cardano, we are having a very unique structure. Why is that? Because I believe that this orange 5 wave up is actually going to be into a larger degree wave 3. And then we're going to have correction for 4, another move up into wave 5. And here's the point. This whole move on the upside is going to happen probably in the next 10 years. For this cycle, I need you to just only focus on this big move up into wave 3. And one of my viewers recently said, why am I talking about the bullish scenario in the long term in every single video? This is exactly why. Even when we were down here and I was in the short term bearish, I was saying, look, in the long term, if you are a holder, you shouldn't really be worried about anything because overall we are looking fantastic and bullish. And if we get a move down, that's just going to be a long opportunity. And I didn't want to say this at the beginning of the video because this is absolutely not an excuse for why I got it wrong in ADA back around the lows. No, I'm owning up to my mistakes. I think that was definitely my fault. Now, what are we having starting from this point to somewhere around this high? Let's go on H1 time frame and see what is happening. Okay, you see, in my opinion, our impulse in Cardano in this phase on the upside, it actually started from this point, and this is quite a clear structure. Here is how I'm thinking. This is 5 wave up into a wave 1, correction for wave 2. I would say, yeah, probably an A, B, C flat structure, and followed by that we can say to about here we are having big 5 up into wave 3, correction for 4, and this is a very clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave on the upside into wave 5. And here's a question: what happens after a 5 up? A corrective movement on the downside. And this is the point. I believe that this move down in Cardano is actually a correction structure, and after it's over, we are going to start another phase of the bull run, and in it, we are at least going to take this high for the first target around, let's say $1.3, and we're going to go, I promise you, quite a bit more higher than that. Now, what can I tell you in terms of short-term structures in this region? Well, here's the thing. I'm actually seeing some bullish signs, and this kind of does look like XRP's chart. Meaning, in a lot of altcoins, I believe there is a chance that, for example, we might have in the next week or two some more moves on the downside in order to take the recent lowest low. However, in Cardano, I think we may not do that. Why is that? Two very important reasons. Number one, I'm thinking we can definitely find a corrective movement starting from this side and ending to about here. And here is how. In my opinion, this can be an A, B, C zigzag, followed by that we can definitely argue this is actually an A, B, C in form of an expanded flat on the upside, and then this might be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down into a correction for B, and from this side, look, this is 1, this is 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down into wave 3, correction for another move down into wave 5 in order to complete the C leg of this ABC zigzag, and overall on a higher degree a WXY in form of, you know it if you have been a regular viewer, a double zigzag. So because we can find the subwaves for a corrective movement on the downside to somewhere around the lowest low, we can actually be quite optimistic. Do we have some other bullish reasons? Yes. Let's go on 15-minute chart and see what is happening. So first things first, this is quite a strong move up, which is a very important characteristic of an impulsive structure. Number two, we can also find the subwaves for an impulse in here. Look, I can tell you this is our wave 1, correction for wave 2, and then we are having potentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into our wave 3, followed by that, I would argue probably an ABC running flat into wave 4, and this is our final move up into wave 5. And then look, this is a choppy move on the downside, which is, you know it, a characteristic of a corrective movement. Why do I say this is choppy? Because let's just measure the length of it and see how much time did it take for us to retrace to somewhere around these levels. As you can see, about 900 candlesticks. On the other hand, how long for us did it take to have this impulse on the upside? Let's just measure it. About, there we go, only 60, 70 candlesticks. So what's the messaging here? You see, despite having way more than enough time, it seems like in the short term, bears are actually failing to pull the price all the way back down here in order to take the lowest low. And to me, this is actually a very optimistic sign that suggests, look, in Cardano, maybe we are dealing with a 1 and a 2, and after this wave 2 is over, which I do think that soon is going to be over, we're going to get a big move up into wave 3, 4, 5 in order to continue our uptrend and start the next phase of the bull run. So overall, I just do not believe that we are having anything to be worried about in Cardano, and I definitely cannot tell you that the bull run is over. My invalidation point for the whole bullish scenario in the midterm in Cardano is going to be, you know what, taking the lowest low all the way down here around 28 cents, and as long as we're not doing that, I just cannot be bearish in here. Also, on the other hand, in the short term, we are definitely seeing some optimistic signs suggesting probably in the next couple of days, we can expect a very strong bounce back in order to continue the bull run. And hopefully in the midterm, we're going to set at least an all-time high and take the highest side around $3.5. So I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Cardano's chart. And again, I would definitely like to apologize for my mistakes in ADA back around the lows. I absolutely got it wrong, and I definitely own up to my mistake. Now, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.